The president of NASSCOM joins in, and in a bit, Dipen Sheth, the head institutional research at HDFC Securities, will also be with us. Mr. Chandrashekhar, good morning. We've seen Infosys scale down both their margin as well as their revenue guidance for the full year. At least it's lower than what the street was estimating. Is this reflective of further bad news that the sector may be facing as a whole?
Lata, I don't want to get into a specific company's performance. That's not something that we would like to comment about. But if you look at the sector as a whole, then while there is undoubtedly a significant amount of uncertainty and there are headwinds in different geographies, but if you look at the fundamentals, I think the fundamentals are entirely sound in terms of the demand across the globe, in terms of the relative shortage of skills in other countries, which has been a significant driver for the industry in India. All of these remain intact. If you look at the Gartner report and the projections, which was just a couple of weeks ago, less than a couple of weeks ago, what it says is that the projected growth rate in IT services over the next couple of years is fairly stable at 4.6 to 4.7% in constant currency terms. And the outlook for India, again, is at 12.8% over the next 5 years. That's, I mean, by any standards, that's a very healthy growth rate. And if that is not healthy, I don't know what is in today's circumstances. Having said that, I think I would also point out that, NASSCOM and McKinsey had brought out a Perspective 2025 report in which we had said that, we would grow at a sort of CAGR of around 11% and reach $225 billion by 2020 and $350 billion by 2025. So clearly we seem to be very much on track on that score. Having said that, I think there are two other dimensions that I need to mention to reconcile what you are saying and seeing with the numbers that I'm putting out. We are seeing, of course, some pressure on margins for a variety of reasons. The currency fluctuations have been a big factor, which have led to a certain amount of unpredictability. Some of the challenges faced on the visas have also added a little bit to the uncertainty, but I don't think that that should be blown out of proportion. There are many other things happening as well, and that's certainly not, while important, certainly not the most important trend that is visible. And finally, as far as the sector is concerned in India, different companies may have very different impact of all of these changes, because it depends on the geographies that they are dominant in, depends on the verticals, depends on the business strategy that they adopt, and so on. So. Yeah. At an individual company level, things may be different.
Yeah, Mr. Chandrashekhar, if you can just leave us with the industry expectations. You all had lowered in November to 8 to 10%. Broadly, will you have to lower it even further for FY18?
We had said in February that we were not releasing the guidance at that time.
Which I'm not asking you a specific number. I'm asking you the broad direction.
Yeah. Yes, you are asking me whether it would be lowered or not, and my response to that is that it is too early to say. We had lowered it from what we had initially projected last year.
Yes.
But it is certainly too early to say that, yes, we will be lowering it further. I don't think we have come to that conclusion. We had said that in view of the high level of prevalent uncertainties, we would come up with our guidance by May, June. We are on track to do that, and we expect to be able to come up with our guidance by May, June, when some of the heightened uncertainties consequent on the change in government, or at least in the presidency in the US, among other things, and the consequent impact on global economy, consequent impact on currency movements, all of that led to a very, very high and unprecedented level of uncertainty. I think by May, June, we will be in a far better position, because while uncertainty will not go away completely, but we will be much clearer about what remains undecided.
Okay, Mr. Chandrashekhar, we'll touch base with you once again in the month of May and June when you do come out with your guidance. Thanks so much for giving us your view on